as a Latina, that's toxic, and you know, I hate to admit it, but you know, you really do have to work on your own self and your own attitude in order to have your happily ever after. But and at the end of it, you know, you could, you know, throw in a little bit of spice in there, because that's who you are. That's who I am. Before I preface anything, this has to be like a two-person job, you know? If you're carrying all the weight, you know, you gotta reevaluate. It'll make it much more easier, but if you're doing all this effort and they're like holding you back, it's not gonna work. And you're gonna feel like, what the, there's no fucking point to this. Oh my gosh, my face is literally covered by the light. Okay. Wow. Wow, you guys. Boy, did I have quite the afternoon. Oh, my legs hurt so bad. A lot of you were upset about me taking too long. I have been dealing with a pretty intense lupus flare-up. Hold on, let me pause. My hands are like burning. Sorry I'm crying, but honestly, sometimes I get so fucking frustrated. Like, I'm trying my best to make these fucking videos on YouTube, and I fucking hate how I sound, how I cry when I cry too. I think I sound so stupid. And I have such a good support system, and I feel like I can't. I don't know. Sorry for the crash out. I'm gonna take a minute and I'll come back. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I hope I don't have any chocolate in my teeth. I just ate some delicious chocolate to motivate myself to film this video. Hi, if you're new here from my last video. I did have some people get upset at my lack of getting to the point, but if you're new here, hi. I'm all over the place is what I am. I have lupus, and basically I'm the queen of brain fog. I did get a comment too saying like what my go-to choice of relief is, if it's hot or cold. For me, it's cold. I love like cold showers, ice packs. That is what not cures, but like helps soothe. For some reason right now the heat makes things worse and more painful for me, but I know a lot of people who have lupus tend to like gravitate towards the hot packs and the hot showers and all that to soothe their pain. Everyone's different, I understand that. What was I getting at? Oh yeah, so I'm sure YouTube will filter out all those people that feel that way towards my videos. But yeah, I get very distracted easily and I lose my train of thought. But I think that's the joy in these types of videos. It's not like a tutorial. It's not a thought out. I mean, it's kind of thought out. I do have my trusty notebook that I try to write some chicken scratch type bullet points, because right now it hurts to write. So I don't even know what I wrote. So I'm hoping I could kind of understand it later. But I tend to freestyle a lot of my videos, and a lot of people like it, but apparently 2 of you didn't. No, but it's all fun and games, honestly. At the end of the day, I'm here to help out people just like me who are in situations just like me, to not feel alone, to not get blinded by like the facade of social media. And yeah, there are real people out there with real problems, and you know, sometimes you just want to listen and hang out and talk and not be so like, you know, like dun, 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 like thought out. I don't know, but yeah, I'm a very freestyle-y type girl. I used to try to do my videos very edited, thought out, and I do, don't get me wrong, I do love editing and thought out videos and the aesthetic of that all. But I also do think being authentically you and telling your truth and not really hiding who you truly are is what the internet is lacking nowadays. That's what the millennials got right. I'm the borderline Gen Z millennial cusp era, so I can't really resonate too much with the millennials, and I can't really resonate too much with the Gen Zers, so I'm a little bit of both. But what I do know is the millennials usually are very like, yeah, they're cringy, but I think they are very authentically and unapologetically themselves. That's besides the point of this video. You see? Tangent. But today's video is sponsored by my mom. Not sponsored by, but her and I have these conversations, and I do get a lot of like people saying, I love your relationship. I wish I had a relationship like that with my mom. Or very few, maybe like twice I've heard like, oh, that's me and my mom too. Like, I cherish the relationship I have, honestly, with all of my family members. I think it's very unique and very rare, and a lot of people don't have that type of relationship. Which is getting to my point, is that I work really hard on all of my relationships. Family, friendships, husbandships, marriages, there you go. And it takes a lot of work. So I was having this conversation with my mom. It was honestly like a whole text, but basically it's like we kind of started off with how to live your happily ever after for the rest of your life. Like, no one tells you that the happily ever after is within you. You see in the movies, right? Like, oh, happily ever after, she marries the prince, the princess marries the prince, and they go off and they live their beautiful life and have a lot of children and blah, blah, blah. But yes, that's very fairy tale, very romantic, very like, ooh, I love that. And I do love romance, don't get me wrong. I used to be like, ew, no, but deep down inside, like, I love me a romantic story, and it's cute, you know, you can't deny it. It's cute and it's beautiful and it's all these beautiful, great things. But how do you live your happily ever after for the rest of your life? You know, I think a lot of us, me included, like I always say, I am speaking from experiences and things that I went through in my life, and I'm sharing with you. I used to depend on a lot of like the outcome of any of my relationships basically based on the person's attitude. Like, if they were acting right, if they were being how they were supposed to be, like in my head how I wanted them to be, then it was going good. Rather than reflecting inwards and being like, am I doing what I need to do as like the opponent, the second half of this person in this relationship, or am I too busy trying to hold them accountable for whatever they need to be doing, you know? So a big piece of this puzzle is working on yourself, right? And I say that in all my videos, is working on yourself, working on self-development. And like, what is self-development really? I think a lot of people have different, like, different approaches to self-development. And I think it's different for everyone because it's your own self-development, you know? So I can tell you what I did, but it's gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to mold it to your standards, to your liking. Take little bits and pieces of my advice and adjust it to your own life. But like I was saying, I would rely a lot on the other person's behavior to see, like, okay, it's going good. They're doing the boyfriend duties, but was I doing the girlfriend duties, you know? And anytime they would have a slip up, like, oh, he didn't text me back, or he didn't text me in the morning, but was I doing what I needed to do? I would focus too much, you know, on like their shortcomings rather than like, okay, well, what am I doing? Am I like holding myself up to this standard, like as equally as to them, you know? Again, I'm reading my notes here if you can't see. And I've already slept like, I don't know how long. The whole month of July I've been asleep and I still feel tired. And I'm freaking, you know, trying my best here. I'm like off 2 prednisones, finally coming down, and that's besides the point. But if you out there are my fellow lupus bestie, just know I'm with you. I'm with you. Anyways, what did I write here? Don't rely on what? Don't rely on your husband for your don't rely on your husband for your happily ever after. He should just be the cherry on top. Yes. So your life alone should be your happiness. You alone should be doing what makes you happy, fulfilling your own needs, fulfilling your own wants. And your husband, partner, whatever, should just be like the little sprinkles, the little cherry, the little like, oh, yay, like the little bits on top that just make it that much more better, basically. And I think if you equally both feel that way, like if, for instance, my husband is working on himself and not putting, as much as I love being the center of attention and love being his world, it isn't healthy. And we did have an issue like that where I was like his only focus. And yeah, it's cute for the first like 3-4 years, but it's like, okay, is he working on his goals and what he needs to do as a husband, as a man, as the provider? Or is he too busy trying to fulfill like my needs that I should be fulfilling on my own? You feel me? And once we kind of like took a step back and was like, hey, why are we having these like disagreements or issues? Like, why am I getting irritated, besides the fact that I'm always irritated? But I'm working on that. And we kind of like, it took us a while, honestly, to kind of figure out what the heck was the problem. And once I realized, like, I think we both kind of stood back, like, are we fulfilling our own needs on our own without each other? Like, I hope I'm making sense. But if my husband, or once my husband kind of like took a step aside and was like, okay, I'm going to focus on my goals and things that I need to accomplish for myself. And I did the same. Because there was a moment where I'm like, dude, you do you, I'm going to do me. And I didn't do that for myself. And it wasn't working. You guys both kind of have to be on the same page in order for the happily ever after to work out. Unfortunately. But no, fortunately and unfortunately, I think it's like, as a Latina, that's toxic and, I hate to admit it, but you really do have to work on your own self and your own attitude in order to have your happily ever after. But and at the end of it, you could, throw in a little bit of spice in there, because that's who you are. That's who I am. And I don't say it to be like, excuse me, stereotypical or like, oh, I'm Mexican and blah, blah. That's just how I grew up. I was queen of caras and making faces, and I still am. The only reason why it's not so prominent is because of my damn Botox, and it's starting to wear off, so. And low-key, my husband even said it himself. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, that's why I fell in love with you. I have to provide, But, oh my gosh. What does that say? Don't. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, that also, okay. You should, from my experience, on top of working, like, you're working in your lane, he's working in his lane, and you guys are both building together, right? This beautiful life for yourselves. You guys are gonna have some disagreements. I had disagreements with my husband where I was like, hey, I don't like the fact that you change your socks 6 times a day. I don't know. I'm just throwing something recently that we had an issue about. Or that you don't change your socks, like that. Sorry. He needed to change his socks. And I'm so sorry if I'm putting you on blast, Vic, but I think you're not the only one. It's okay. Anyways. And he was like, yeah. Okay, like I'll work on it, whatever. Like, I love him, and love ain't lies. And basically what that means is like, you shouldn't lie to your loved one about like, oh, okay, yeah, they stink, your feet stink, but I'm not gonna tell them because I feel bad. Someone else is gonna tell them. And then how much more bad are you gonna feel if you don't tell your loved one that their feet stink? I mean, oh my god, sorry, dropped my pen. Further than I thought. Okay. But I lost my train of thought. I totally got lost in the foot story. I'm so sorry. Oh, but don't tolerate their behavior. Basically, like if you told them one thing, like I told you to change your socks and leave your shoes outside, and they don't, and they're like actively working on trying to better themselves, and you're like, okay, I'm working on myself and I'm holding you accountable to leave your stinky shoes outside. You gotta, bring it to their attention. Not, if you're explosive like me, not in an explosive way like, hey, what the fuck, I told you to take your shoes outside, they fucking reek, take them out. You're not gonna, like, if you watched Off Campus and he was like my favorite guy, Grant, is it Grant? Yeah, his name is Belmont. I know him by his first name basis. But the main character, he was like, aren't you gonna yell at me, coach, when he got like in trouble or something? And the coach was like, if I wanted you to hear me, I wouldn't yell at you. And that was like, it resonated with me so hard. And I'm like, dude, that is so true. I had the issue of always yelling to get my point across with any boyfriend, with my husband, with my boyfriend, with anybody. And they're not going to hear you if they're so used to being like, you always yell, they tune you out right away. And you're not going to get your point across. What was I getting at? Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought again. Point being, don't tolerate it. Bring it to their attention. Yes. And don't, if you're typically the girl to explode and be like yelling, take a step back, get your mind right. However that might be, for me, I get into a state of gratitude and like, okay, let me be grateful for this situation, as irritating as it may be. There has to be something for me to learn here. And it is, there's always an opportunity to learn. I say that in all my videos. There's always an opportunity to learn. And tell them like, hey, be real. Like I've told you, take out your stinky shoes. We're in this together. We're on the same team. It's a team effort. It's working together. Oh my gosh. No, I have no idea what that says. Oh, don't nitpick. That's okay. That's kind of it. Pick your battles too. That's something I've learned, but I don't know why I wrote that in there. That, I guess, I don't know. Don't pick pick your battles, and don't be so nitpicky, and focus before you have anything to say about it. I don't know, before I preface anything, this has to be like a like a two-person job, If you're carrying all the weight, you got to reevaluate and make sure it's like, is it worth it? Is the other opponent bringing in the same amount of work? It'll make it much more easier. But if you're doing all this effort and they're like holding you back, it's not gonna work, and you're gonna feel like, there's no fucking point to this. But if they're equally doing it, if you're both in it to win it, it's worth it. Which is why I say, like, don't nitpick, pick your battles, and like focus more on yourself before you go after your husband, boyfriend, whatever. But también, if you're like doing all this effort and they're not reciprocating, it's not worth it. And honestly, I think the universe, God, whoever you believe in, will always protect you if you're like in the right state of mind. They will somehow magically like disappear from your life. I feel like that happened to me so many times from a lot of like boyfriends that I was like, no, I'm gonna marry this guy. Somehow they just like left. And I think, because God always got my back and he saved me from so many like bad situations. Like, yeah, I learned a lot from them, but I think like I ended up here where I am today because I was always like, in the right state of mind and the right flow. Speaking of my husband, he just texted me. Oh my gosh. This is our corgi. Can you see her? I don't know if it's too bright. She's loafing. Okay. What else? Oh, last point here. There is always going to be challenges, and I think I did touch on this on my last video that I made, and maybe I did. If not, I should have. But there's always going to be challenges with any relationship you're in, whether you're with your parents, your siblings, your whatever, husband, whatever. in any kind of relationship, there is going to be work. In any kind of like relationship that you think is worth it, there will be work. Yeah, acquaintances, people, like the people I see at Walmart all the time, like, yeah, we say hi. It's not like a really deep, what's it called? Connected relationship. When you want like the deep, you know, you feel it in here type of relationship, it equally has to be, there has to be work put in equally from both parties. And honestly, even you're like, I don't care, like, I'm not gonna put in the work, whatever. I've been there and I've said that. Okay, yes, but then you're alone and you're crying because no one knows, like, you have no one. Put yourself out there and you'll be okay. You know, there's gonna be issues anywhere you go. You're not gonna save yourself by like protecting your peace too much. Yeah, like, okay, yes, protect your peace. I've done that. But I think it's worth it and more rewarding to like work on relationships that you think are worth it. I'm not telling you to like go back to your toxic ex and like, oh no, Mrs. Star Disease said, no, don't do that. I'm saying if it's worth it and you see the benefits from this person, being with this person, and you equally are on the same page, yes, it is worth it. It is a lot of work, and you will see the rewards of your labors if you know, put in the work. Basically, I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. Dear goodness gracious. And I'm like starting to fall asleep. Let me drink some water. It's funny because when I thought of this video topic, I instantly thought of the ride, California Adventures, the Little Mermaid ride. And at the end scene when Ariel and Eric are waving, and I love that ride so much. And they're just, that makes me want red hair so bad, but I won't, don't worry. I just dyed it Kevin Murphy hair color. I think this is probably my favorite black hair dye, the Kevin Murphy one. It's very rich. It's not blue black, but it's rich. I'm sorry, just my 2 cents. If you're gonna get anything from this video, if you stuck around for this long, 1, thank you. I really appreciate it. 2, if you're gonna get anything from this video is happily ever after is possible. It takes a lot of work and the right person, and it all starts from you. It starts from within. And I think a lot of people, including myself, used to try to fix other people, try to fix everyone else. But instead of like turning it around and being like, okay, what can I work on? Not just superficially, like, okay, like I just shaved, exfoliated, you know, working out. Yeah, that's part of it. But internally, are you working on the things you don't want to work on? The things that make you uncomfortable? The things that you know, like, I should really do this, but you're not? You know, it's different for everybody. Like for me, I knew my safe space was being cold, I don't want to say aggressive, but I guess for lack of better terms. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, you're so soft and sweet and cute. It's like that, what was it? The Life of Pets. The little bunny that was cute, but then it was crazy. Yeah, it's like that. But you know, that was my go-to, like, because I would build such a hard shell in order to protect myself. And in reality, I was just pushing away all these like nice people that were trying to befriend me. And it was like, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be the lonely, grouchy old lady that no one likes. Like that, what a life to live. That's not what I want for myself, you know? So in turn, I did have to put in a lot of work. And I think I started heavily working on myself, I'd say maybe February or March, I can't remember. But making these videos for you guys and just talking about my experiences in life and being vulnerable on the internet, because I think a lot of people lack vulnerability on the internet. A lot of people put on this fake facade and you could see right through them, to be honest. And I really, no one's life is perfect. No one's relationship is perfect. And I tend to feel kind of like, I don't know what word I would use to describe, but if you're like saying, oh, I would never, especially in women who have like been cheated on or lied to, stuff like that, you'd be like, I'd leave that man instantly, but you don't know their story and you don't know their struggles. And you can only speak for yourself and from the experiences you've gone through. And at the end of the day, it is only your life. Granted, if you're being, hurt physically and mentally, you do need someone to save you. That's totally different. But if they're not in your shoes, you typically can't really speak on it, That's just my 2 cents. But again, thank you if you watched this video. I feel like I'm rambling and I am so tired. I could fall asleep sitting up. I think I did fall asleep a few times while I was making this video. But I'm here. And we'll see how I survive this heat wave, because the heat, my gosh, kills me. Anyways, thank you for watching. The light is burning my eyes, so that's why I'm not staring at the camera too much. But thank you for watching. I will see you guys when I see you. And I think that's it. But bye. Okay, I'm done. I think that's all I have to say. I hope this freaking video made sense. No sé. But yeah, okay, bye.